got a couple requests to do a video on the takedown and cleaning of a HP22. There's a couple of videos out there, but I'm going to go ahead and show you my take on it. We've got, this one is pretty new. We've probably only shot maybe 200 rounds out of it, if that. So just enough to break it in. I'm going to go ahead and take it apart and clean it up. Let you guys see how that goes. We're also going to modify the safety while we're in there. Okay, so the things you're going to need are a cleaning rod with a brush, a jag, flathead screwdriver. You can use a little brush if you want to, and if you want to use a bore snake, you can do that. So we'll probably finish up with that bore snake there. First thing we're going to do is take the slide off of the frame. So to do that on a HP22, you have to have the magazine in, safety off, pull it back, safety on, which is also our slide stop. Then we can drop the mag and push this little takedown lever here forward. When the guns are broken in, you can do it by hand like this. When they're brand new, a lot of times you have to use a tool. So this one was a little bit difficult, but anyway, I pushed forward here with my thumb on this little tab, and then also on the other side. Push forward and lift the barrel up, and it'll come right out. So there's our barrel, and then your recoil spring is captured right here. You're going to put your finger over this section, hold the slide, and release this lever. Oh, sorry, stupid safety, which we're going to fix. Put your magazine in, then you can drop your lever here. Take the magazine back out. Then your slide comes off, and you have your recoil spring and takedown lever here. So there's 1, 2, 3 parts, and then you have your frame right here. We'll get into the cleaning of that here in a second and take that apart. First thing we're going to do is check stuff for wear, especially since we just broke this thing in. Everything looks great here. I'm just going to wipe it off, get some of the gunk off there. This piece doesn't get that dirty. Then we'll go to the slide, take a look in there. Make sure you don't see anything weird going on, any metal coming off. This is a spot that tends to wear a lot, but it looks okay. So we're going to wipe it down really good. If you want to, you can use brake cleaner. I'm not going to do it now, but if you do use brake cleaner, you're going to want to use one that does not leave any residue. You could use a non-chlorinated brake cleaner. That would work well. So here I'm just getting all the cracks. You can get a small screwdriver or a pick or something to help push your rag down in there. Clean these rails really good. This thing is really not dirty at all. You can see from the break-in here where the finish is starting to wear off, and that's fine. Wearing off on both sides inside here. You can see it's wearing here where our hammer is resetting. And the slide stays pretty clean. Slide doesn't really get dirty. Some of the important parts that you're going to want to clean are right here. You're going to want to clean underneath the extractor, between the extractor lip and right down in here. You can get crud that'll get stuck up in there. This one is really, really clean, so we're not going to worry about that. Now that we got all the gunk off of it, you can put a little bit of oil, and you're going to want to put it right here in this channel. Oil that up right there really good, and then oil up all the points that you can see the finish coming off, because those are your wear points. So oil there, get all that stuff oiled up really good. You can rub it in with your fingers if you want, but working the action here in a little bit will clean that up also. Next part we're going to look at is the barrel. Just wipe off some of this powder fouling up here in the front. Really not a lot of wear going on in the barrel. Down here on this lug, you'll see this finish will wear off. Feed ramp looks good. And down in the barrel looks okay too, but we're going to go ahead and clean that. So once you wipe everything off by hand, take our brush here and run it from breech to muzzle. It's best not to go back and forth, just go one direction. We'll do that a couple times to loosen up any kind of lead deposits that we might have in there or break up any crud. Okay, so that should be good there. Then we'll take our jag. Oh, there it is. And we'll take our jag and run some patches down through the barrel. This is not the right size jag for this, so I'm not sure how many patches I'm going to need. Okay, looks like one patch is pretty solid. And you want it to be pretty difficult to push through because you're going to get the best seal. So really you can see that this is not all that dirty, but we're going to go ahead and clean it up anyway for the video's sake. You can use any kind of solvent. Since it's not really dirty, I'm going to use this rim oil here. It works pretty good to break up light deposits and also lubricate at the same time. So we'll push this through. So we got a little bit more dirt. And we're just going to run this through here pretty much until it gets clean. So as many times as it takes for it to be, for it to come out clean and not black, that's how many times you want to do it. You don't have to get it super clean. You just want to get the crud out of there. A lot of times there will be a ring inside here, right around this area. If you're shooting a lot of cheaper, non-copper coated bullets, you'll get a lead ring deposit in there. Or if you're shooting Calibri rounds that don't have any powder, that have a lot of wax. Okay, so barrel is good. We're going to run our last patch through here with some oil. Put some oil right here. Stick it on the barrel and push it through. And that's going to leave a thin film of oil on the inside. So that's all there is to cleaning that. And we'll put a little bit around here where we have wear and moving parts. Put it down here on the lug. This is a part that we'll wear. And put it on there. So our barrel and our slide are done. Can go ahead and move on to the frame here. Pretty simple, flathead screws. Take these out. There are not any parts that are going to come flying out in this, which is nice. So we already have a good amount of oil still in there from the factory. The two things that you can modify in here are the safety and also our magazine, our magazine safety here. So the problem is you can't operate the safety without a magazine in place. So you have to put a magazine in if you want to put the gun on fire. So when you put that in, it raises up this lever here. It brings it up here, and it keeps this safety lever. Or sorry, when it raises up, it lets the safety lever go up and down. So it'll go underneath this lever here. See that? So it lets it go up and down. With the magazine out, the safety lever goes down and you cannot operate it. It blocks it right here. So the fix to that, you can either cut this piece or you can bend it up a little bit. I would suggest bending it because this piece is not considered replaceable. You can't buy it on the parts website. And if you cut it, then Phoenix won't honor their lifetime warranty. So it's best to bend it, but you can do whatever you want. Our other problem is you cannot drop the magazine when the gun is in the fire position. So we'll put a magazine in place. We can operate the safety because of this bar here. So if you have the gun on fire with the magazine in, you can't drop it because of this little notch that sticks out right here. This safety selector is only about $4 or $5, so it's no big deal just to cut that little bit off with a Dremel, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and take these pieces out though for now and go on with the cleaning procedures so the people that aren't interested in doing that modification can just take a look at this. Sorry about my lighting, I just did a really quick setup here. Alright, so over on this side, you only have one piece that can come out. And it's right here. So this little piece doesn't really get dirty, but you can take it out and clean it. So I'm not going to do anything with it. It's already got oil on it, so there's no reason to remove what it has. This spot doesn't really get that dirty. But over time, over a couple thousand rounds, you'll get dirt in here and you can wipe it clean. So we'll replace this little lever here that's retained by this pin. And then put our grip panel back on. So we're going to leave that side on there. As far as cleaning up inside here, you'll get a little bit of dirt and grime in where your hammer is. So you can stick a toothbrush or a rag or something down inside there. And then up here on these guide rails, you'll get some deposits too. So you can stick your rag down inside where the magazine goes. And pull it through like that. That's pretty much it for cleaning. So if that's all you came to see, then cool. We're going to go ahead and modify our safety components here to make this gun more suitable. You can do it a couple different ways. This is really thin metal. You can just clip it off with some side cutters, or you can use a Dremel, which is what we're going to do here. So I'm going to cover up my work area so I don't get metal everywhere. Okay, you're going to cut it flush or level with this leading edge right here. And that's it. That's all there is to it. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. Put this thing back in. And get a magazine in. Okay, so now you can see we can drop the magazine on safe. And we can also drop the magazine on fire. So there's the fix for that. Next we're going to go ahead and put a little bend in this lever so we don't have to have a magazine in to operate the safety. So the best way to do it is try to make a bend in the bar or the spring steel from here upwards. You don't want to bend it down here. So I'm going to hold this part with my finger and pull up here. Put a bend in that. Let's see if it's enough. Okay, so magazine in, we can actuate the safety. And magazine out, we can actuate the safety. It's okay if you bend this a little bit far. Here you can see it sticking out, because whenever you put your grip panel on, it'll push it down back to where it needs to be. So let's try it with the grip panel in place. So magazine out, you can operate it, and there you go. That's pretty much all there is to that. Really quick and really easy. We're going to go ahead and put this thing back together, but before we do, I want to leave this section open here, and I'm going to take apart another HP22. It's got some mileage on it. So this one has between 3,000 and 3,500 rounds. It's possible it has a little bit more, but since I started trying to count boxes, that's how much ammo it's gone through. So let's take this thing apart and see what it looks like inside. I'll tell you, it's a lot looser for sure. Takedown lever is really easy to get out. Take a look at our barrels side by side. Now they're going to be a little bit different because of the black coating. You're not going to be able to see some of the wear. Feed ramps there. I don't know if this camera is even focusing. It's really not. It looks like garbage. I'm going to look inside the barrels and see. On this gun, I can tell the rifling looks a little bit better. And my feed ramp here is a little bit dinged up. Take our slide off and look in there. Compare it to this one. So there's a good bit of wear on this one right here, up in the front, on this little lug here. Just a tiny bit of wear there. It's harder to tell since this gun is all, there's no finish on the inside of it. But it's definitely got more wear in this section, and definitely back here. There's actually a groove worn down in this bottom one. The rear looks the same on both of them. The extractor on this one is definitely, you can see the tip of it is a little bit shorter, so it's worn. It may be getting close to time to replace the extractor on this one. And I'll take off the side panel on this one and we'll look inside. See if there's anything different going on. Which I doubt. There's going to be a lot of stuff you can see. You can see on the ejector, they both have a small wear section towards the base. But overall, it looks like the higher round count really hasn't affected this thing too much. I've had to replace a couple things. I had to replace a recoil spring and also the firing pin and firing pin spring. The firing pin wasn't worn down too much, but the spring got bent and kept this gun from firing. But go ahead and put both of these things back together for you so you can see it twice on camera, because I've had requests for that too. And then we'll do a trigger pull comparison on the new gun versus the gun that's got a good bit of rounds through it. So the easiest way to put these back together, line everything up so there's no tension on your spring, and then put your finger over this section, because this spring's going to try to bend out, and push this to the rear until you can actuate your safety, and that's going to capture that spring. This part is what gets a lot of people. Sometimes that can be difficult. And then you're going to line up this notch here that you can see with that cross pin right down inside there. So slide it over that cross pin, clicks into place. You're good to go. Do it again here. If there wasn't already so much oil from the factory, I would have put some more inside here, but it really looks good. I definitely should have put up like one of my spotlights. I don't usually do videos this close. Alright, I'm going to oil inside here a little bit. I know this is a section that wears down. On top of these guide rails here. I'm going to put some on the back of the hammer. And on these guide rails here. And on the sides. Okay, that should be good. Put our recoil spring back in place. It just slides down inside here in a little groove. Oops. Okay. Our slide back in place with our spring inside there. Put your finger over this section and push back. There you go. That's all there is to it. Now our safety works with the magazine out. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and put a fired case in here, and we can trigger, test the trigger pull out on these two guns. I've wondered that before, how much break-in affects the trigger on these guns. Okay, first we'll try the new gun. This has a primer in it, so it's going to be loud. I don't know how loud it's going to be. I guess we could, yeah, we'll do it on fire instead of using the firing pin block. Safety. We got a Wheeler trigger pull gauge. Let's see what it pulls at. Oh, wasn't that bad. Looks like almost 8 pounds, a little more than 7.5. Let's try it again. £7, right at 7 pounds. And a little more than 7 pounds. So we'll say a 7 to 7.5 pound trigger. Let's try the one that's had some mileage on it. See what it's measuring.
Daddy.
Yes, baby, what is it?
Daddy.
Yes. Oh, you're telling me about it? Yeah, I see that. Okay. Let's give this one a try. 6 pounds. 5 3/4. And 6 pounds. So that's kind of cool. It looks like at 3,500 rounds, we've dropped about a pound in pull weight. I haven't done anything to the trigger components in that thing, so that's good to know. But there you go. Yep. I had a request for this video. I'm sorry about the lighting. I just kind of threw it up really fast. But there you go. If you have any more questions about anything you saw, just put it in the comments. Thanks for watching.